Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope everyone is doing well. I for one am doing pretty great. We just finished decorating the house for Christmas this week, and seeing how this is our first Christmas with our baby girl, there is much more excitement in the air than in previous years. Unfortunately, due to all the restrictions with COVID, we won't be seeing as much family as we normally would, but that's not going to stop us from making these holidays memorable. I wanted to try something different for this video, so this is going to be more of a voiceover with some Call of Duty Cold War multiplayer playing in the background. This gameplay was with a couple of buddies playing Hardpoint on Cartel. The round started off a bit rough, but as it went on, I had a pretty solid game all around with some pretty nice plays, so I hope you enjoy. So since the launch of the new generation of consoles was less than a month ago, and new graphics cards have also dropped for PC gaming as well, I wanted to talk about this whole PC versus console war narrative thematic that exists for some reason. Now, this isn't going to be a rant of why I play on PC or the advantages or disadvantages from one system to another. It's more an opinion on the topic in the first place. First off, I want to start by saying that you should be playing on whatever platform you want to. Don't buy into any of the fanboyism trying to persuade you in any way. The only thing that I would recommend though, and this goes for any major purchase or commitment in your life, is do your research properly beforehand and make a decision based on your critical thinking on what you're looking for. That being said, if you just want to keep it simple and all your friends are playing on a certain console and you want to make it easy just to join them, then go ahead and get that console. Although now with crossplay being enabled in most games, you could play with them from any system really. So get yourself whatever your heart desires and whatever you feel will be the best way for you to enjoy gaming, because at the end of the day, that's what these PC gaming or gaming consoles are all about. It's for you to enjoy the games that you're going to play. And just to give a quick overview of my history with gaming and the systems that I used, like most people, I started with the classic Nintendo consoles as a kid and moved over to PC gaming, where I was addicted to games like Command & Conquer, specifically Tiberian Sun, and moved over to playing a buttload of Counter-Strike 1.6 and Counter-Strike Source. After that, I kind of moved back to exclusive console gaming during the full life cycle of the PS3 and most of the start of the PS4, where I did some esports competitions with NHL and other games. Finally, about 5 years ago, I moved back to PC gaming, so I've had experience with both intimately, and I completely understand the appeal from both sides of it. So this isn't really focusing on one or the other, it's just about the whole narrative behind this divide that exists within the gaming community for some reason. So to get back on the first point, whatever decision you do come to make, don't be one of those people that try and belittle others for their choice. Oh no, you got a PS5 instead of an Xbox Series X, but don't you know that Xbox has full backwards blah 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 blah. It's not gonna make a difference. The person already made up their mind. I don't understand what some people expect. Are they gonna be like, oh yeah, you're right, you just made a great point, I'm gonna go sell my PS5 and go get an Xbox right away based on what you just told me? No, I mean, the sale's done. Let them enjoy the console that they decided to go with. And this doesn't only go towards Xbox versus PlayStation. PC elitists are also part of the problem. Spreading information like, oh, how can you buy a console over PC when why would you want to pay to just be able to play online when PC is free? I get it. Everyone has their own reasons for making a specific purchase, and it doesn't have to make sense to everyone. So the best thing for everyone to do is relax and just let people play however they want to play. A lot of people out there spend exuberant amount of money on different hobbies. Some people are going to spend thousands of dollars on a road bike. Others are going to spend crazy amounts on a golf club. But as long as you have the means to enjoy those hobbies and you want to invest a bit more into them, then go ahead, as long as you justify the purchase and get the use out of it. Now, to add to that previous point, once you do make a purchase, there is no reason to start spewing misconceptions about other platforms just to try to justify or defend your own purchase. Some people are so against other people having a different system than the one that they're on that they're going to start attacking them and start giving misinformation. And I've been on the forums and some Reddit subreddits just to see what was going on leading up to this launch. And some of the stuff that I saw, it's pretty crazy. I mean, people are going to defend getting a console over a PC just because their argument is, well, I don't want to buy a PC because I'm going to have to spend thousands of dollars on also buying a monitor. But at the end of the day, you could hook up your PC to a TV in your living room as well. And I have friends that have a PS5 but are sitting at a desk with a monitor they bought specifically for that console. But let's say for the sake of this argument, fine, you need to buy a monitor with a PC. But if that's the case, you have to take into the consideration that if you're going to buy a console, you have to buy a TV as well. And most people aren't hooking up their consoles to a 24, 27-inch television. They're buying a 65 or 75-inch TV, which could be more expensive. But the point isn't that. It's more the fact that I'm bringing it up just to say don't pass on information that is inaccurate to try to defend your own opinion or decision that you made. You have every right to an opinion, but if someone wants to challenge the opinion, which they do have a right to do, make sure you come back to them with factual information. That's going to be the best case for everybody. You know, it's funny. The only real winners that come out of this whole console wars thematic of PlayStation versus Xbox are Sony and Microsoft. They're loving this. It's gotten to the point where, for some reason, people justify buying every single exclusive on a console, not even playing them, but buying them for the sole reason of supporting the company that makes the console that they own. And on top of that, they get upset when a game that used to be an exclusive for a console is now available on another console or available on PC for more people to play. For example, Horizon Zero Dawn came out as a PlayStation exclusive and it got great reviews. It seemed like a fantastic game, and it was exclusive to PlayStation in 2017 when it launched. 2 years later, or more than 2 years later, I think, it became available on PC. And it got to the point where people were calling Sony customer service or threatening to cancel their PlayStation Plus membership or not buying the next generation of PlayStation because the game became available on PC. I mean, think about that for a second. Imagine being so petty that you would go out of your way to complain because other people got to enjoy a single player game without having a PlayStation. And look, I get the point of exclusives. I really do. Sony and Microsoft need exclusive because they need to give people a reason to choose their console over the other console besides hardware. Even if their console isn't the strongest, they want to show people that they might have better games and better exclusives. But 2 years or more after an exclusive came out, it doesn't really serve its purpose anymore, right? For that company, Horizon Zero Dawn was a great exclusive, but Sony had other ones that came out to try to push sales of their console. So making the game available for people on PC to play is just a way for gamers to enjoy a good game. And I don't see why that would be an issue. And it's gotten to the point that things aren't going to change unless we speak with our wallets and our purchases. I mean, look at the backlash EA received with Battlefront 2 when the whole pay-to-win thing came out with playing as Luke Skywalker or Darth Vader or whatever, that you had to pay to unlock the characters or put in a crazy amount of hours into the game, or somebody could just pull out their wallet and get the character right away and enjoy it in a multiplayer game, which makes things worse because you're playing against people, but you're already at a disadvantage unless you're willing to spend the money. It became the most downvoted comment in Reddit history, and there was actual things that were done to help gamers after. I mean, the whole system kind of changed and it got the ball rolling, and other governments and companies and countries started looking at games as, hey, maybe this is anti-consumer, maybe this is promoting gambling for younger people. It's a way to gain money without giving anything back, and it's in the video games and this and that. So as gamers, things got changed because of this. And it's going to continue like that as long as we show that we want the change, and we're going to do that with our money. If 9 out of 10 games sell incredibly well that have loot boxes, but only that one big game gets the negative press, EA is still going to continue to putting out these games. I mean, if you look at the EA Sports franchises, one of their biggest money makers are the Ultimate Team franchises. And that's just pure pay to win because you're paying for these cards, these card packs to get better soccer players or football players or hockey players, whatever it is. The day the game comes out, people already have all-star lineups because they put in $1,000 in cards. And you can't really, it's gotten to the point now that I used to love NHL. Okay, I was a huge NHL guy, and EA had some really cool features with the end of the PS3 lifecycle of NHL, there was like a GM connected, so you and your friends each have a team and this and that, but it wasn't making them money. Ultimate Team was making them money because people are buying packs and spending all kinds of money to get the best players. And what's happening is that they don't focus on other game modes anymore, and they only focus on the one that makes them money, and the game became so repetitive. And I'm somebody that used to put in thousands of hours of NHL. I was going to esports competitions for NHL, but I don't even play NHL anymore because it's just repetitive and it's just a money grab, and EA is not investing into making the game better. And as long as people keep buying the game, it's not going to change. People complain that, oh, FIFA is just the same thing every year. It's just a rebrand with just maybe a bit new graphics, but the gameplay hasn't changed in like 15 years, or Madden hasn't changed in 15 years. It's not going to change as long as people still buy the game. I mean, why would it? Why would EA invest and spend more if they don't have to? If people are buying the game, they're getting their revenue from the game, so they're not going to complain about it. But at the end of the day, for us, gaming, it's an escape. We need to enjoy it. Yes, it is. There's a competitive aspect to it now with esports and Twitch, and it's becoming more mainstream, but it's an escape. It's a way for us to connect with friends, to de-stress, to socialize. It's a passion that has been growing since we were children. There's been so much negative news and press around gaming and games like Grand Theft Auto and shooters and the impact that they have on kids and this and that. But today it's grown to over $100 billion a year industry, and it's continuing to grow rapidly. But for some reason, as gamers, people have decided to create this internal divide based on the system that they play on. And it's really causing us to shift our attention away to the bigger things that could propel the gaming industry forward. And it's unfortunate, because if we would take all this time that we have arguing with each other on forums and Reddit about which console to get and put them towards arguing about companies that are using bad practices just to gain revenue, then hey, we could maybe really get some change out there and really get some better stuff as gamers. But anyways, that's my little rant on the topic. If you guys have any comments on the issue, feel free to add them in the comments. We could get a good narrative going. And I hope you guys enjoyed this gameplay. And I will catch you guys next time. This was a pretty good game. Ended up with finishing 60 kills in a hardpoint game.